And we are live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one and only V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, CJ, aka El Cuco. And we're giving you the news, the views, and all the information important to you. Check us out, roguemoney.net. Follow us on Twitter at the Rogue Money. Rogue Money on Facebook, DTube, Steam It, and every single podcasting app known to humanity. Also, check out our sponsors, remaincalm.net, remaincalm.net. Guys, see, we're going to actually have a guy who's going to be coming on, not today, not tomorrow, maybe sometime next week. His name is Jim. And Jim gave me a call yesterday. He's a client of ours over at Remain Calm. And you know what happened to him, dude?
What happened, bro? What happened?
Oh, dude, you're going to love this. My man came to us, his credit score was shot to pieces. He just contacted me yesterday. I spoke with him. He was so thankful because the team at Remain Calm, this is what they did. They took his credit score from the abysmal, 400 or 500s that it was, jacked it up way over 700. Dude, he just bought himself a brand new house. He just bought himself a brand new house, and his credit score is so good. The bank's like, hey, we can give you another house loan if you want to go get another property.
You want a second and a third?
You want a second one? He just bought a brand new house in North Carolina. I mean, God bless him, dude. He's that's proof positive. So James is going to be on. He's a huge fan of what we're doing, the services that we're offering, because we're offering solutions, folks, absolute solutions. So I'm going to have him on for like 30 seconds just to share with it, and we're going to probably post the pictures of his new property on the website, maybe under client testimonials, because people need to hear this. So, so check it out. Remaincalm.net. And guys, oh my God, if you were in the trading room, like I was watching Nick and Z trade in the trading room over at the cryptoschool.io, people were making money, making all kinds of money, CJ, all kinds of money, trading cryptos. These guys are such sharp pros. They're calling this. They're so damn good. Other guys are ripping off their technical analysis on charts. That's how good these guys are. If you want to learn how to trade, make money, make a killing, it's so cool when you're on there with them. Like, oh yeah, I just made $4,000 today. I'm like, you're just on for like 3 hours. How'd you? Yeah. That is how you do it. And what are these guys doing? They're being practical about it. They're moving into fiat. They're getting into metals. You got to be pragmatic and you got to have a game-winning strategy. And that's what we bring at thecryptoschool.io. Thecryptoschool.io. Maybe you don't want to trade. Maybe you just want to learn on how cryptocurrencies work. Maybe you want to learn about wallets. What are the best wallets to use? How do you work around an exchange? How do you how do you move from crypto to fiat and back again? So if you want to learn how to do that, folks, just go to the cryptoschool.io and let us show you. We'll take you by the hands and make it happen. Now, if you want to, after you're done with the schooling, you're ready to do some trading, go over and see Crypto Cowboy and Crypto Z. These guys are hot shots. These guys are boss traders, the real deal Holyfield. It's one thing. There's a lot of guys that talk a lot of smack. Okay, they talk a lot of smack. Oh, yeah, I got like 20 million in cryptos because I'm trading, blah, 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 blah. And, of course, you can't see their books or whatnot, but you're actually sitting down and watching these guys trade, watching the calls come in, and then you're seeing the profits that are being taken. Yeah, that's worth it. That's why, dude, here's the deal. $150. You know how you pay for that? You pay that with your crypto profits. $150 is cheap. When it goes to 300, which it will go to 300. Okay, you're gonna make that payment with your crypto profits. You're not gonna look at 150 and be like, "Oh my God, I can't do it." It's $150 a month. No, you're gonna get determined. You're gonna get pissed off, and you're gonna say to yourself, "I am going to pay this $150 a month with the profits from crypto, and I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to learn something new for once." Folks, we're giving you the goose that laid the golden egg. We're giving you access to your own printing press. I have no other way to put it, CJ. I have no other way to put it.
Yeah, and I brought up an interesting article that ties nicely into this conversation, V, because I think it's so important in today's age of doom and gloom and everything that's out there in the media regarding life and everything that's transpiring. Mm-hmm. There's a new article out showing that 42% of Americans are at risk of retiring broke. V, yep. Nearly half of Americans have less than 10,000 stashed away for retirement, according to a report by Go Banking Rates. For them, a serious lack of planning, coupled with a longer life expectancy, has destroyed any retirement dreams. So it's important to find solutions for yourself, for your family. It's unfortunate that the system was designed this way, right? With overtaxation, with medical bills and everything else. So invest in yourself. Invest in yourself to find ways to supplement your income. Find ways that when you do retire, when you are planning, that you're able to have something, a job, a skill, something that's there to allow you to continue living the quality of life that you want to live. I mean, that's just so important, V.
It's everything. You could sit around and be the victim, or you can be the victor. You can sit around and just let things happen to you and just say to yourself that, you know what, I'm in a dead-end job. I like being here. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes a job. You know how many people, the coolest thing is actually encountering and speaking with people that have quit their jobs and all they're doing is day trading cryptos. And they've found innovative, creative ways in how they can, convert that to fiat and get paid. And folks, there's a solution that I'm working on right now. It's going to blow your friggin' minds away. It's going to revolutionize the entire crypto world. It's going to revolutionize the entire crypto world. People are going to literally lose their minds when I unveil the monstrous program that I've been working under for the last several decades, bringing it all together with my international contacts. You guys ain't ready for this. You guys ain't ready for it. And when I unveil it, oh my God. And only the gorilla, only the mind of the ape, the Optimus primate could bring this together for all of you. Why? Because I need solutions. Because here's the deal. Here's what I get. If you don't prosper, I don't prosper. It's as simple as that. If you're not empowered, I'm not empowered. If you're not empowered and prosperous, and then being empowered and prosperous allows you to not only take back your life, that reverberates into your communities. And once it reverberates into your communities, it goes from your communities into your county, into your state, and eventually to your country. That's how we win this country back. You win it back with productive, empowered, maverick individuals. That's how you do it. Okay, that's best case. At worst case scenario, you radically be able to change your life, or you're in a better position to provide for yourself and for your family in the times and the troubled times that are ahead. It's just that simple. So it's a win-win. But if you think that this requires no work on your part, if you think that all you have to do is just sit around and somebody will spoon feed you how to do it, no. You're going to have to get off your lazy butts, if you are lazy, and you're going to have to make it happen for yourself. That means you're going to have to learn some new things. You might have to learn some technical analysis. You might have to learn a little bit of charting. You might have to learn how to move in and out of a specific asset. You might have to learn how investments work. You might have to learn these. You're going to have to school yourself. You know why? Because there's nobody, and I mean this wholeheartedly, nobody is coming to the rescue. You're on your own. You're on your own, but the gorilla is here to encourage you and provide you with solutions. And the solutions I provide, Siege, what we are offering people in terms of solutions, it's not snake oil. It's not some BS male enhancement pill or hey, take this for fat loss and not take a before picture of you pale and then take an after picture of you with a tan.
Or really far back. Yeah, really far back. And then one up close, after you hung over and you had a night out with Gus.
Exactly. we're providing you real solutions. And with Rogue 420, we got some amazing things lined up with Rogue 420. It's going to blow your mind away. And it's 50 state legal. I don't want to even talk about what we got lined up, but it's 50 state legal. And it's going to revolutionize your health because it's real healthy stuff. It's not some BS snake oil nonsense where somebody who has a degree in nutrition or chemistry could take a look at what's being produced and be like, this is horse crap. Folks, that's what it's all about. We got some great things lined up. So keep it locked, keep it loaded. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment. With that being said, Siege, what's the first thing that you want to tackle, brother?
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the Gary Cohn resignation. He was Trump's advisor, and this was on the news cycle yesterday. It's apparent that he was not agreeing to the trade tariffs, so that the administration will now be looking for a replacement. And I believe that this puts two individuals that have been with Trump since the beginning, and I believe that are the only two there. I think there's a third, maybe Sessions. Sessions was brought aboard, and then there's two other close advisors that are the ones that are still there and probably should have left first. You want to guess who those two are that are still there?
Go ahead, man. I'll leave that to you.
Jared and Ivanka. So they're still hanging on for dear life. But yeah, so this came about, just yesterday. Just a lot of people are just concerned about this tariffs, how it's going to work, what it's going to affect. And apparently, Cohn decided, hey, listen, this is, I'm not in agreement with this as far as your policy, economic policy. I'm your advisor, and he would not join Trump to make this happen. And so now we watch another internal cabinet member just resign and leave. And so so we'll have to see what happens. This whole thing with the Dow not happy and being down 450. I mean, the wind's blowing the wrong direction, and those guys have a panic attack there. So we'll see where this goes.
Peter Navarro is not the kind of guy you'd want on. Okay, you might say to yourself initially, hey, Peter Navarro, he wants tougher trade with with China. Folks, here's the deal. I mean, Harley Schlanger said it best. LaRouche Peck said it best. America's infrastructure future is tied in with China. You want foreign investment. Now is not the time. Here's the deal, man. If you just got, let's just say you stepped into the ring against, what's his name? All right, here we go. If you step to the ring with Stipe Miocic, heavyweight champion of UFC, and you just got bludgeoned to death, you're bloodied, you're bleeding, your joints are cranked out of place, your whole body's sore. So if you're in a beat up state, if you're in a worn down condition, you don't book a fight the very next weekend. Now, do you? That's insanity, right? You want to give it at least a month or so for your body to recover and for the pain to subside. This is what the U.S. is doing. You're getting into a trade war when you have nothing to trade. The only trade you have, the number one export, folks, on all reality, and I've always said trash, recycles, pornography, but if we set aside those durable goods, and I say that euphemistically, the only thing that we export is our stupid dollars, is the paper, right? So if we're in a weakened state, we don't have a built up, we do not have a built up infrastructure. So the only thing that we have left, folks, is our dollars. So how are you going to get into a trade war when the strongest thing you have is also your Achilles heel? Does this make any sense? There's a potential of having Peter Navarro, death by China, Peter Navarro. Yeah, Peter Navarro is somebody who makes a very strong case. But is he the one who can pragmatically with cunning, with poignant precision, navigate the economic needs of a nation such as ours. I mean, yesterday, Siege, we just talked about Electrolux saying, yeah, hats off. We're not going to do this expansion because of the tariffs. You want all these manufacturers to come back, but not now. It's one thing if you have a tremendous manufacturing base, and I've said this so many times, the wealth, and folks, get this into your heads, the wealth of a nation is created on the factory floor. Repeat that over and over, and you'll understand how important that is. But if you do not have an infrastructure in place, if you don't have it in place, it's non-existent, nowhere to be found, why get into a trade war? Why get into a trade war and then say we're gonna restrict you from using the dollar? I mean, this is the dumbest thing in the world. This is like getting into a fight and you're like the guy with the biggest gonads. You might say to yourself, "Hey, look how huge my gonads are," but you're going to get kicked there because it's the biggest target there. The biggest target we have, the biggest Achilles heel we have, and the only damn leverage we have is the stupid dollar. So who are the front runners here? We got Peter Navarro, supposedly. Larry Cocaine Kudlow. Oh, Cocaine Kudlow. Love that Cocaine Kudlow. He did enough cocaine to kill a horse, and yet he's still alive, and he's on CNBC. I don't know how this guy's doing it. Cocaine Kudlow. There's a guy who understands stuff. There's a guy who has an unmyopic view of the world. There's a guy who understands the One Belt, One Road. There's a guy who understands the Shanghai gold trade. In fact, there's a guy who understands the gold markets and cryptos. And again, folks, I'm being euphemistic here. Kudlow has no friggin' clue of any of these things that I just mentioned. But he's a front runner. You know, I tweeted out yesterday to Donald. I said, Donald, why don't you just choose me as your new economic advisor? I'll have the country fixed in a year or be assassinated trying. But in the least bit, you could at least have Ron Paul on. Maybe somebody from the Mises Institute. Or maybe even somebody from the LaRouche PAC. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But at least have Ron Paul on. You think he'd do that? I doubt it. I
think it'd be cool. I think what he should do, here's what he should do. Okay, he should call up the executive producers of The Apprentice and bring that format to the Oval Office. You know, bring people in.
It's turning into that, man.
Bring them in and see which ones survive. You know, pick 8 people instead of wasting time. You know, make it a TV program. You know, make it virtual. All that kind of fun stuff. Because you know, right now, unfortunately, it's a revolving door, and you know, hell, it's just amazing to see this. And I'm not sure what specifics, you know, is driving it. Is that the fact that there are several, you know, military people involved and tied to the administration that are encouraging this trade war, looking at it from a perspective that, you know, yes, we you know, because they firmly believe that they could win out an all war against China and or Russia. The lunacy behind it it's just madness right now, V.
It's insanity of the highest order. Okay.
But there is spin out there, V, too. There's some spin out there as well.
Go ahead and bring one up, bro.
So here's the spin a little bit. So this is out from the Conservative Tribune, and that these tariffs may have just revealed Trump's plan for income tax. Okay. And it's massive. For many conservatives, the president's decision last week to impose a 25% tariff on imported steel and 10% on imported aluminum was where they decided to get off the Trump train. One of those departures, obviously, was Paul Ryan, who's very concerned for Harley Davidson. I think that's his state. So this article goes on to state, V, that if you remember, go back to 1888, the book of the tariff history of the United States. Back in 88, it's noted that at one point, the majority of all taxes collected by the federal government was 90% due to tariffs. And after that, when they got rid of those high tariffs, is when the income tax came in. So this is 4D chess that Trump is looking back at 1888.
This is 10-day stupidity. Go ahead, Steve.
No. I'm just, when I see things like this, I'm just like, you know, I really don't.
This sophomoric dribble. I mean, let's deconstruct this, right? The tariff of the United States. Noted economist Frank William Taussig. Thank God I never went through formal economic education in a university. Thank God. That's why I'm called the guerrilla economist. I'm outside this ridiculous retarded. Because you have to be this educated to be this stupid. I mean, listen to this. Frank William Taussig says that American steel tariffs as high as 90% or over on British steel in the wake of the Civil War allowed the American steel industry to flourish, while simultaneously, and this is a key point here, you may want to write it down for later, helping to pay the nation's bills. Now, for the uninitiated, and we are initiated, are we not, Bruce? That was my little Bane right there. Yes, we are initiated, CJ, are we not? Yes. We will explain to the people exactly the meaning of these tariffs. Yes. So tell me, Trump, do you feel in charge? Here's the deal. What happened in 1888? CJ, let's do a quick Google search. I'm gonna ask Google this: what the population of the United States was back in 1888. You ready for this? Here we go.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, Google. What was the population of the United States in 1888?
Here are the top search results, starting with one from Wikipedia.
Okay, Google's going to send me. Oh, look at this. The census of 1888. Here we go. Results. There were 39 million people in the United States. Okay.
How many? What was it? 39 million?
39 million. Okay. The most populous state in the United States at that time. Oh, wait. Results. 1880 census determined the resident population to be about 50 million, an increase of 39 members. 70. Oh, okay, wait, about 50 million people. Okay, 50 million. The most populous state at that time, CJ, was New York. New York had only 1.2 million people. See, there are like 10 million people in New York City today.
Alone, yeah.
Alone. Okay. So New York was the most populous state. The second most populous was Pennsylvania. Or Pennsylvania, depending on what part of Pennsylvania you're in. 847,000. In other words, not even a fraction of the 320 million or 330 million we have today. So we have this 90% steel. Now, I want you to think about this, right? Frank William Taussig says that steel tariffs as high as 90% on British steel in the wake of the Civil War allowed the American steel industry to flourish. Do you see the oh my God, do you see the contradiction of the statement that this economist is putting out? He's saying steel tariffs at high as 90% helped American steel companies flourish. Right. Yeah, they did. Okay, you had that's where the Pittsburgh Steelers, the real Steelers, were the steel mills that were in Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Detroit and in Wisconsin and in New York and Connecticut, all these other places throughout the country. You had all these steel mills. Yes, yes, yes. They helped with American steel. That part is true. Now watch the stupidity. Watch the BS. Here comes the BS. Ready? Here we go. The BS is, this is a key point here. You may want to write it down. Please don't write this down. Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation, do not write this down. You are all members of Rogue Nation officially. I've all knighted you. Rogue Nation. Rogue Nation, don't write this down, but write this down. Okay, so when your talking head friends show up who thinks he's smart because he read this somewhere or he heard it on a news program, you can obliterate him. Okay. If you have a 90% tariff on British steel, CJ, do you think the British are going to be selling their steel to the United States?
No.
Bingo! Because you have, in a way, a type of Gresham's law, but for trade in play. Trade is going to go where it's treated well. Capital, money goes where it's treated well. Okay? Money goes where it's treated well. So the Brits, if their steel, which they're getting from different parts of their quote-unquote empire at that time, if they cannot offload their steel into the United States because of a 90% tariff, nobody would. So explain to me then that if these steel companies from England are not importing their steel at 90% into the United States, how then is the tariff paying down the nation's bills? Riddle me this, Batman. See, think about the insanity.
Oh yeah, no, V, yeah, it's massive, and if you think back to that time, specifically with steel and its usage here in the United States, things are significantly different now, V.
It's insanity. You're going to hit my steel with a 90% tariff, which is basically 100% duty. So if I'm paying $31 back then, 1877, you're paying $30 a ton for American steel. For British steel, you're going to be paying $60 a ton. Who the hell would want to buy British steel? You've made it non-competitive. So why would the Brits waste their time, energy, and efforts? It is a cost to them to bring their steel in. They're not going to do that. So what did they do? Well, at that time, during this time, is also the time period that the Brits were building railroads all over Africa and Asia, in places like India and whatnot. Those rail lines are still active today. So this educated fool, Frank William Taussig, you have to be this educated to be this stupid. And this is what you run into in academia, man. This is what you run into. Taussig noted that this was an enormous gain to the producers of its steel rails in the United States. Yeah, it was a boon. This is where the monopolies came in at this time. Bessemer the process of producing steel inexpensively were held in American hands. The tariff came during a time during which the economy was picking up and construction was rebounding, which meant businesses. Folks, here's the deal. There was so much economic activity and the government was so tiny and had a minuscule budget. You could have paid for it with a lemonade stand. This is comparing apples and oranges. This is comparing a hummingbird to a 747 jumbo jet. This is not even in the same economies of scale. This is not even in the same ballpark. Like, this doesn't make sense, but they will put this to you because they understand, or they're hoping, that you're an uninitiated ne'er-do-well. See, they have such contempt for you. They have such contempt for you. They put these figures out because they know it'll tickle you. It will make you feel like you're smart. But anybody that looks at this would understand this is stupid. This is not even the same economies of scale. This is not even the same scenario we're facing today. This is an industrialized United States. Do you see how it works, folks? This is what I said, Sage. In order for you to enact a tariff, you yourself have to be industrialized. Did I not say that?
You did.
Yeah. And so what's happening here? Well, in this situation back in 1888, the tariff history of the United States. I'm going to write this guy a long letter.
Even if this took place, right? I mean, our capacity to produce the steel, the aluminum is not there for the demand of the United States. So therefore, you would have that shortage of supply, and it would raise the prices even more for U.S. manufacturers in return. Like we've stated before, these companies aren't just going to say, "Hey, I'm sorry, our production costs went significantly up, but I'm not going to charge more for it because that's just not the right thing to do." You're insane.
So, exactly correct. Oh yeah, we're gonna make the same product for you as usual, but we're gonna do it this time at a net loss. No one's gonna do that. This is insanity. This is insanity. Here's another insanity, right? Bombardier, Canadian airline company, has made a wonderful plane, a beautiful plane. I think it's called the RC-31 or something like that. It's a beautiful plane. It competes. It's just a little bit smaller than a Boeing 737. It's going to be competing as a regional jet. They just inked a deal. They couldn't get into the American market because of Boeing used the American Protectionism Act. So what Bombardier did is they teamed up with Airbus. Airbus bought, I think, about 20 or 30% of Bombardier. And they're going to be taking that plane and opening a factory in the United States to have the plane built here in the U.S. It's going to create tens of thousands of jobs. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now? Maybe Peter Navarro knows. Maybe Cocaine Kudlow knows. Maybe Frank William Taussig, the man who wrote the book, The Tariff History of the United States. Because the tariffs is what paid down the bills. No, moron. We didn't have a big bloated government that sucked up all the wealth from its population. And we were highly industrialized. The Industrial Revolution just begun. We also didn't have a central bank. And guess what else we had? We also had a gold standard. Oh, did Frank William Taussig, the noted economist, did he miss that, CJ? I think he did, but the guerrilla economist didn't.
Right on.
What happened between and folks, if you've been listening to the gorilla, you've been listening to the Optimus primate. You've been listening to me for quite some time. You would know. I've said this numerous times. Between 1870 and 1912, you had the greatest boom in human recorded history, and it had bloody nothing to do with tariffs. It had everything to do with the Industrial Revolution. It had everything to do, there's no stinking central banks, and it had everything to do with the fact that we were on the classical gold standard. The classical gold standard that even John Maynard Keynes was a very, very, very huge fan of. People often misquote Keynes when he says, "Oh, gold is a barbarous relic," the gold standard. He was not referring, folks, to the classical gold standard between 1870 and 1912, which was, by every account, arguably the most perfect economic environment ever. That's what led to the boom. Is there a theme here, folks, that you can learn? Yes. There was a limited government that was very tiny, decentralized in some regards, very tiny government, tiny decentralized federal government. A gold standard, the classical gold standard, no central bank. Tons of freedoms and liberties. When I look at 1870 and 1880s and 1890s and 1910s, from an economic standpoint, I stand there and I weep. That was a time of mavericks and tycoons. That was the time of captains of industry. That was the time when men had balls. When they had them, they conquered the world with it. Civilization sprung upon the earth at this time. It was an amazing time in American history. Was it perfect for everybody? No. But damn it, it was an amazing time of economic growth. If we can get ourselves back to then, my God, we'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, and here's another solution, V. Yesterday I released a great interview with Morris Beagle, who's with the Colorado Hemp Company. And this guy is doing some amazing things with hemp. He's formed an umbrella of a multitude of companies, everything from sandals to T-shirts to paper. All these items are being requested now to be produced and made with hemp. I'm not saying all of our economy, but if we could grow hemp and allow the United States to become the world's largest producer of hemp-made goods. Homes, Hempcrete's a company out there that are making homes from hemp. Jay Leno used to have a vehicle that was completely made of hemp that we could flip these assembly lines and use hemp for this and become an exporter of massive amounts of goods made with hemp. This is a no-brainer, but it's these crazy politicians who, like in Indiana, the governor wants to say, well, we need to do more studies with hemp. It's the stupid, corrupt politicians that don't understand that our government doesn't come up with solutions, folks. They don't. Our government does not do that. They're not capable of it. All they can do is come up with better ways, or not better ways, find other ways to raise taxes and to take more from us Americans. That's all the government can do. There's no solutions that are going to be offered.
No, there isn't. Government doesn't innovate. They don't create. What they do is they steal, they rob, they kill, they destroy, which is basically the very characteristics of Satan himself. Okay, if you look at the characteristics of Satan, what is he? He's a liar. No, it's government. They lie to you. He's the accuser. Right? He's always blaming you. Well, that's the government. The government always blames you for everything, right? He steals. Well, that's what the government does. He kills. Well, the government does that probably even better than Lucifer himself. And then he destroys. Wow, that's the government. So basically, you're telling me, with all the enlightenment that we've been through in this country, from our founding fathers till now, the progeny of all this freedom, the inheritor of all this freedom, of all the civil liberties that we have created in this nation the last 200 some odd years, is that we've come up with a governmental body. We have come up with a governmental entity that has all the earmarks of Satan, of Lucifer. I mean, think about it, folks. Lay out the qualities of Lucifer and Satan. Same person. I don't care if you're a Satanist. If you are, I'd punch you in the face, but that's another thing, you sick bastards. But lay out all the qualities of Satan himself. Lay out all the qualities of government. It's the same. What is Satan's number one weapon, CJ? Deception. What is the U.S. government's number one tool? Deception. What is the other number one thing? The other number two thing that Lucifer himself uses? Fear. What does the U.S. government use, Siege? Fear. Do you think for 1 second if George Washington was alive right now, if Ben Franklin, if Quincy Adams, if Thomas Jefferson were alive right now, if John Hancock, if Ethan Allen, if Thomas Paine were alive right now, they would be marching off to war, crossing the Potomac to take this country back. And then everything that Thomas Jefferson said would be held true. From time to time, the tree of liberty must be watered by the blood of patriots and tyrants. And with that said, I'm done, Siege.
Roger that, P. Well said. Today, make sure you tune in at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is Hump Day with Bix Weir, and I know he's going to have a lot to say, so we're excited about that show. And I think that'll be about it for today, V. And also go to roguemoney.net. We posted a couple articles there regarding China and their expansion on the One Belt, One Road. So go there and check that out as well.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll hit them with some tariffs, so we'll this way they won't buy our steel to use on the One Belt, One Road. That's smart, right?
Yeah.
Freaking morons. Another day in the Empire Siege. Another day in a dying empire.
Yeah, and I want to thank our fans. The chat room's very active today.
Yeah.
So thank all of you guys for listening in. We really appreciate your support.
Absolutely. And with that being said, folks, we are over and we're out. Take it away, CJ.